Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Had a totally awesome daily brief today. On Tuesdays, we have our level 2 instructor come in and school us on how professionals trade the futures markets. Kieran, just beautiful presentation. Talking levels, talking higher time frame charts, loading up his lower time frame charts, plotting price action against levels. Just, so cool. So, if anything, if you fancy yourself a professional day trader, it's probably worth tuning in to TRI's Daily Brief just for Karen's spiel. He's doing that every Tuesdays now. Which I kind of like, because the pro day traders, they don't really want to trade coming right out of the weekend. You usually get some pretty wonky price action. So that Tuesday morning is usually a pretty lively session in our day trading group. And really cool group of vets we've got in there just doing their thing. Very, very proud of them. As you can see from the dashboard, getting lots of interesting information from the market. It seems to me we got like a violent bullish reaction out of breadth here. You can see the whole damn market just lifted higher here. Of course, we've got big cryptocurrency fundamental driving events tomorrow. And this fundamental event actually is, it's quite staggering, the size of this listing. So, I would definitely say crypto has arrived. There's no doubt about that. Whether this is a direct vote on Bitcoin itself, I don't know. But it's almost like, I think, to a certain degree, Bitcoin is the on-ramp into the cryptocurrency world. It's probably the knee-jerk thing to buy. While it's in the spotlight, it's got the wind at its back, so it's catching a bid. But I also noticed through the daily brief, we walked through a bunch of altcoins, and the money just keeps pouring in. Very much like 2017. Actually, this is about the time when Kevin first got involved in this space. Very interesting. Kevin, do you see a lot of similarities between this market and the way the altcoins are acting and when you first came into crypto in 2017 there? I don't know whether he's here or not. Put him on the spot. Maybe he's here, maybe he's not. Maybe I'll harass him tomorrow or something to answer that question for you.
I'm here. I just wasn't quite ready to get on the mic.
Sorry, dude. I totally throw these curveballs at these people. They're like, thanks, man. The question is, do you have pants on? That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
But yes, I mean, it is similar. But, when I first came to TRI, let's see, it was like a year before the real rally started. So it was like the beginning of 2017.
Yeah.
So I got to come into the bottom basically.
You know what I noticed is, do you remember back in that January, I think it was 17, where Decred took off first? Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
And it's so weird because Decred did exactly the same thing this cycle too. I was quite shocked. I mean, this thing, literally, there's November, and the same thing happened in, I don't know. And it's interesting, what a coincidence. They don't even show you the data from the previous cycle. So how are you supposed to do these 4-year studies and all that kind of stuff if these places don't even let you see the whole picture? But let's see, does this? Nope. I mean, it's so frustrating. You have to go to Polo or something to see them. There's Polo. Let's see. We got Polo. Hey, there we go. So, yeah, see, exactly the same thing. See, the beginning of 2017, this thing, and it was so weird. We were sitting there going, now, why the hell is this thing coming to life? And sure enough, woohoo! Well, lost air from my lungs there. Woohoo! So here we go again. In fact, actually, it looks like this cycle started a little bit earlier than this one, but maybe there was a bottom down in here. I don't know. Anyway, the point of the matter here is, wow, there's a crypto market, eh? I mean, you think Bitcoin's done well. This was $10. Now we're like, what, $200? And you want to know who actually I think is the big winner of this cycle? Holy Jesus H. Christ. We should officially all thank Mr. Novogratz for doing his wonderful music video, although I don't think he was a participant of it, but we were passing around the Bitcoin, please go to moon. Nova gracias fortique, but ton veces, no way. However it goes. Anyway, Mr. Novogratz, you have my hats off. Damn impressive what you pulled off here, sir. There's your crypto market. And like I said, crazy things like this Decred, I can't believe that. So, this is just from November. I mean, this is nuts. How do you explain this? And then look at this Zen. I mean, it's getting ready to push up to new highs here. I was joking with the kids in the daily brief here. I mean, talk about that. I mean, this is the most beautiful bottom. And we were squawking about this a few weeks ago. Maybe not the best bottom versus Bitcoin on this particular exchange. But gee whiz, look at that guy getting going now. So, oh boy, what a market. Of course, we've got the Coinbase IPO coming up here. Actually, that's been probably the focal point for our conversation here. All my fun squiggly lines. I have no idea where the sort of the pump, where its ultimate destination is, but I think this is definitely what's driving the market here. What's scary though is, man, we're talking big dollars here. Like $100 billion. I mean, just insane. Maybe that it really isn't that big. It's just that the actual thing that they're valuing these things in is absolutely worthless. Unfortunately, the more and more I work in this space, the more and more I'm leaning in that direction, which kind of sucks because I used to actually be a big believer in this idea that I like the idea of capitalism with parental supervision. What I think happened over the past 20, 30 years is the parental supervision just disappeared. And as a result, the people that could take advantage did take advantage to the tune of like trillions of dollars and just gutting the system from the inside. So frankly speaking, it makes sense why crypto has done as well as it is, because the kids have had enough of this. They're like, fuck you. And I don't blame them. I mean, I'm one of these Generation Xers. I got trapped between generations. So I had to live my whole life in the shadow of the baby boomers, just watching them one phase after another of their lives, just gutting our society. So I don't blame you, millennials. You should be angry. And I think that crypto is sort of their vote. In fact, I would even suggest that you just stick with crypto and don't get sucked into this sort of the Wall Street bets kind of world, because that's that old world. In fact, actually, I'm hearing a lot of people now, you can actually do share proxy votes on the blockchain on DeFi. So, ironically enough, Coinbase, the big thing here is the U.S. IPO, or basically share listing on these major exchanges. And what's fascinating about this image is you can actually see on crypto, this is usually how the capitalist process works. It's just that you and the public never see this. The only thing public would ever see is as of, I can't even do it, but they might see as of, well, that didn't work. What I wanted to show you was, they'd show you nothing, right? They'll show you the IPO price, and you can't even do it. I want to put the thing right off the screen. They'll just show you the IPO price and say, hey, there's value. What do you think? You want to buy it? And you don't get to see this. This is like the private market, like over-the-counter market, where actually the real bottom is down here. And they usually say that these things usually get floated at about twice the price of what they really should be. So ironically enough, just draw whatever number it is that they bring this out, do your 50% rules. You can see I've already mapped out if I was going to actually buy this thing, and I don't even know whether I'd do it through the stock market. I might just do it through crypto. But if I was going to buy this, I have to let the event happen, then let the market settle down, and you can see, I mean, if they stop it at yellow here, well, then that means my reload zone is down in here, and that's where I'll be thinking about buying. If they stop it at teal here, well, then this is my reload zone, and this is where I can think about buying. If they stop it at orange, orgy zone, well, there's a reload zone. That's where I can think about buying. So ironically enough, and the funny part about this is these prices are not really that far apart. But I can't participate in this. And this is a great illustration that you'll see. These reload zones, or wherever the backing up is following the orgy, well, they're just going to bring price back down to the original bottom. What a surprise. Where you're supposed to be long. So I thought that was a fascinating illustration of the capitalist process. You know, and a really good example in the stock market right now are these Bitcoin ETFs. So, you know, there's probably some people that went in and bought like this one. So this is the image of after that IPO. Now FTX shows you this part, right? So there's the IPO. That's what you're going to see on Coinbase tomorrow. And in this case, like, they had to bring it all the way down here and then all the way up here. And then, of course, now we're working our way higher. Ironically enough, if I wanted to participate in this, nothing ever changes with what I do. There's the double bottom, right? Down, up, down, breakout. In fact, actually probably there and there. And if this is the top, what a big surprise. You can see reload zones are sitting right in here. So below value. Right, this would actually be a fantastic Hogue value trade, 80% trade. Fill in gaps, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So more importantly, this is really cool, sort of like this is after the fact where the public doesn't get to see the pre-market shit. And you in crypto, you've had enough of this nonsense where you are going to see and probably participate in the pre-market nonsense. So you're not walking in and buying the share on the, you know, my hunch is they're probably going to gap this thing and it's going to open up like there or something. And the poor public that buys the IPO in the marketplace, they're going to come in up here, buyers. Ugh. Ugh. Capitalists, they're all crooks, I tell you. It's a scam. Oh, well, what can you do? Conversation I'm supposed to be having with you guys here today. US dollar continues lower. I don't see any bottom anywhere in sight here. And off the lower time frames, this is a pretty nasty failure. A lot of the currencies all ripped higher on this event. And I think what is driving this is I got the impression that the U.S. vaccine companies, they kind of felt like maybe a little ego boost because the European vaccine company, it turns out their vaccine doesn't work so well. It might even kill you. And the Americans were kind of like, well, you know, it's not our problem. But it turns out going to halt the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because it's doing the same thing that the AstraZeneca vaccine. And I think that really sort of kicked the wind out of the American sort of arrogant sales, if you will. I'd probably just simply say, from a technical perspective, this was just such a ridiculous move up top that we had to see some pullback. And the irony of it all is if I wanted to buy US dollars versus euros, loonies, whatever, that's actually the window where I should be a buyer. There's the gap. There's reload zones, right? There's original trend lines, not way up here. I am long this. I have no idea what's going to happen here. I'm long through options. My bias is to the upside. We'll see how that goes. 2023, 2022 calls. So way out into the future. Not even really thinking about this. And I think I've said recently, I think I'd prefer just to leave this trade alone. Just come back in 6 months and just see what it looks like. So on U.S. dollar weakness, interesting. Still seeing U.S. Stock strength. Real mixed bag. Brick and mortar weak. Small caps, sort of, classic stock market weak. Anything that's crypto or sort of tech related, catching a bid today. Is that a function of the Coinbase IPO? I think so. Because if you turn on things like CNBC, and I saw on social media, tons and tons of CNBC shit about Coinbase IPOs, and that's all they're talking about, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. So I think there, to a certain degree, there's that. There's also, remember recently, Amazon won a case. Not really a case, but they told the socialists to go screw themselves, unions. So the stock is getting bid up here. Not really a big surprise. Not really. I can't buy unless I see something like this. But what a shock. Stock's moving higher. Apple, we had the big double bottom there, and then a double bottom within the double bottom. Still moving higher. Mr. Softy, Mr. Gates sort of smirking at the world. And now it appears Mr. Tesla is joining the party. And I think to a certain degree with, Amazon has its wind at its back. All these EVs and stuff, they have the wind at their back. I don't know whether this is a start of a new bull trend or we're just still kind of like dead cat bounce into top ends of ranges. You saw how Bitcoin had to do this. And then we spent like a month doing a bow tie up here and then we're resolving higher. Well, probably the same thing's going to happen here. I mean, you see how long this consolidation and the triangle took to resolve itself. I mean, whether you go there or there and there, something along those lines. Point here is you can see consolidation, 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 breakout. So we're just now coming up into the top end range. You can see how when it rallied up into the top end range, had to back off, rally up, back off, right? So we're rallying up into the top end of the range. My hunch, as you can see here, is now our job, if this is a top, and we don't know if it is or not, but if it is, really we just want to wait. We've got a bunch of levels all sort of identified, and now we want information from the market. Do we get divergences? Do we get M's in price? Do we get M's within M's? Moving average crosses, volume profile levels, gaps, blah, 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 blah. So right now you're in sort of that market information farming mode. Is this thing moving up because Tesla is making more cars and profitable? I doubt it. Is it moving up because Mr. Tesla has now sort of hinged his company's future on things like Bitcoin and on Dogecoin and stuff like that? Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. But it is interesting. Anybody who's long Tesla, of course, now is following along this road with them. So I did find it interesting. I don't know what percentage she's particularly in, but notice that very popular fund managers, well, their charts are looking an awful lot like Mr. Tesla right now. So in a weird sort of way, you might find that this is sort of like the dog wags the tail, where Tesla wags, and you're going to see a whole slew of stuff all move in the market. And you can see that same sort of logic. This is the Tesla chart's a little bit more, a little bit crisper, but nonetheless, sort of shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, shoulder, neckline, breakout. Right? It's real messy head and shoulders. But, same sort of logic. Gaps up top, original market structure, top of value, reload zones up in this area. So, I see a lot of that. And actually, it's interesting because in the day trading room, and I know I'm in trouble. When I woke up this morning, I saw the Johnson & Johnson news and all that kind of stuff, and I saw the S&Ps, and they're kind of up against the top end of range. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to hunt shorts. I got a nice Empire. I got a New York Kill Zone. I got Reload Short Zone, and boom! My shorts got popped out. So clearly there were other parts of the market that were very strong, and it's this kind of stuff. Technology, right? Amazon just won the case. Do I really want to step in front of that? Look at Apple. I just own the world. Look at me go. And of course, like we said, Tesla. So it was interesting. Like I said in our presentation from Kiran here earlier today, he's kind of like, this stock market looks very strong. You got a friendly Fed. I don't really want to step in front of this. And my shorts got busted out. And of course, everybody in the room was hunting longs, and I'm like, this is not a good sign when I'm the only guy hunting short and everybody else is hunting long. And sure enough, I was wrong. I hit my daily loss limit, and I had to shut it down. That's just a trader's life. That's the way it goes. Okay, what am I supposed to be talking about with you guys? I hope you're enjoying this fun little tangent. All right, so we talked stock market. I kind of mentioned this to the gang today. I'm a little curious as to why crude is so weak. This is when the crude market's supposed to be strongest. So what happens to this market when it's supposed to be weak? Be careful out there, risk takers. And of course, Coinbase IPOs. Is this particular risk asset being bid up into that event? What happens following that event? Uh-oh. Interesting to see the bonds. They look hell-bent on breaking out here, eh? That's fascinating. And that would make sense with that Johnson & Johnson news. The tech rally, although, it's got some legs behind it because of things like court cases, I don't know whether it can really carry the day if that Johnson & Johnson... Because I think that that's actually extremely psychologically damaging. That it turns out that we don't have any confidence in these American vaccines either, right? And everybody gets all freaked out. And usually when people feel freaked out, they run into safe, secure assets, and they run out of risk. It's interesting that the junior stock market is just not participating in this this rally. This is we had Jamie on the call a few days ago, and he showed that the large cap growth stocks were going to outperform. That's exactly what this is. Small caps, not doing much here. Gold's at a really interesting inflection point here, and there are a couple gold stocks that I'm really interested in here that are, this looks very much like a cup and handle. And if we break out through this 1750 area, which is, a pretty big psychological number in the gold market, it probably says to me we want to jump up into the 2000 area. So be cognizant of that. Of course, we got a bunch of little junior gold stocks. Can't really buy many of them, but there are a couple of new VCIMers that are working down into buy windows. So I might do a little shopping there. And like I said, I've got one big gold stock that's just on the cusp of issuing a buy signal for me, so I might do something there. And I've got a big silver stock that actually doesn't look nearly as good. I think this is more sort of a fear vote versus a strong economy. So I kind of like the gold better than the silver right now, and I see that the silver idea that I have on the books, the one that I'm following here, it's not nearly as clean a setup as the gold. But this is supposed to be a short video, so I'm not going to go into that with you guys. Join the site if you want to get more on that. Sort of finish off the video here today. Of course, we started off the whole conversation about Coinbase. I think that is the catalyst that this market's moving into. I'd be really careful on the other side of this event. What does this look like over here? Because keep in mind, this is all wide open air, right? If you look left, last key support was 55, and then the next one before that is 50. What is that? 50, just about 50 grand. So, maybe we rally up, tag the top of this trend line. Totally possible. Looks like there's some foggies up there. Looks like there's a 127 up there. And also, too, what's fascinating is that this was an old bot level that we had drawn on here a while ago. Yeah, there it is, way up there. 72,575. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do that this cycle. Maybe it would probably, I think I've shown you. I think this is looking a hell of a lot like that 2017. Maybe though, especially if we do like a parabolic move into that Coinbase event, maybe hit bought targets. I'm hearing talk that pi cycle chart that people are all jazzed about these days, it's actually flashing. I don't know whether it's a sell signal or whether it's just I am officially overbought signal. I get the impression it's going to be something like that. So, I think I've said, I personally would prefer that we do sort of like a 2012, I think it was, 2012, 2013 type spring price action and just calm down a bit in Bitcoin price here to set us up for the moonshot into the end of the year. But we could be either or. All right. I would prefer this kind of price action. And if we got that and then the subsequent pullback following this IPO event, clean the price chart up, maybe that would correspond with that pi signal. And then that sets up our base for what I really like into the end of the year is an absolute insane moonshot. So I don't know whether we're this course or this course, but that pi indicator signal, that's probably going to catch a lot of people's attention. And it sure feels like to me with this whole Coinbase IPO, I mean, it just feels orgy-tastic here. And usually, when it's orgy-tastic, if you're long from the bottom, great. You're having a great old time. And like I said, the place to be long was here. But into the orgy, when it's happening, is that really the best time to actually pull your wallet out and spend money? Ugh. Usually it goes buy the rumor, sell the news. Does it have to top out tomorrow? No. But this is the end of event. Keep in mind, all these people that bought in here, they're waiting for the IPO event to get paid. They're going to be ringing the register. So if that's the case, then I could understand that, maybe this is that pi cycle peak, and we just got to calm down a bit. And of course, whenever people like this, who really is not a crypto expert, but gee whiz, these people are all becoming crypto experts. Interesting. When he's all like, yeah, rah, 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 Bitcoin, that's got to be a bit of a warning sign to me as well. So. Oh, well, enjoy the good times while they last. And, of course, if you're long, you fucking love this. The only problem is, where the hell do you sell? I don't know. I mean, I think I've told you guys all, I've got a goal of buying a house for Liam at the end of the year here. Really what I want to do is maybe buy maybe a year from now, maybe a year and a half, next summer, next fall, not now. But just get all the capital together at the end of the year through this crazy-ass blow-off top so that I just sit there with a big wad of cash and I just don't do mortgages, don't do any of that kind of nonsense, just pay cash, for the house. I might even just say, you know what? Why, to the seller, maybe I'll just. Do you want to? Can I pay in bitcoins? See if that works. I don't know. But I would prefer not to even think about that kind of selling until I see like Willy Woo kind of numbers. So if you know what he's looking for, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And that's sort of into the end of the year. If anything, what I wouldn't mind is, let's take a few months here and clean things up. This has gone a little ahead of itself, but we'll see. As I said, this thing's got everybody's attention right now, so really, this market's not going to calm down until you actually see this thing M out and start to correct. And believe it or not, like I did the free videos about the DeFi market. Basically, it did this into the end of the summer. Then it took 2 or 3 months, came all the way right back down to its bottom, and then started its climb back up. So this kind of stuff happens all the time in the market. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. All right. I think that's probably all I'm going to do for this free video here today. Feel free to pop on the site and check out the the content in the daily brief recaps. I think we even have like a 30-day trial for you. Check out the blog posts. Kevin's doing an awesome job with those blog posts. Actually, hey, if you want to set yourself up to be a professional at this game and learn how to run your small business of trading, learn the process. We got a new school term that starts in about a month or so. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. All the best, and bye